Captain Elena Hart stood at the edge of the observation deck, her eyes fixed on the swirling mists below. The planet beneath their station seemed alive, its surface glowing faintly with bioluminescent plants that swayed in the light breeze. The station had been orbiting this mysterious world for nearly a month, but its most remarkable secret had yet to reveal itself. Her team of scientists and explorers moved about the deck, checking sensors and taking readings. Most were focused on collecting samples of the alien flora and analyzing atmospheric data, but Elena's attention was elsewhere. She had sensed something unusual from the moment they had entered orbit, something that didn't show up on scanners. A soft vibration ran through the floor beneath her boots. She froze and tilted her head. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but it was there. She motioned for her assistant Liara to join her. "Do you feel that?" Elena whispered, pointing toward the mist below. Liara frowned, scanning the data on her handheld device. "I don't see anything unusual, Captain. Maybe it's just a minor atmospheric fluctuation." Elena shook her head. "No, it's something alive. Something moving. And I think it's watching us." Her words hung in the air, but before Liara could respond, a shimmer appeared in the corner of her eye. Something moved, but only just. Almost invisible. Elena's heart quickened. "Wait," she said, narrowing her eyes. She adjusted the sensors and focused them on the area where she had seen the shimmer. The readings were faint, almost nothing, but enough to make her certain. Something was there. Something that didn't want to be seen. The planet had been mapped for weeks, but no one had reported life forms of this kind. Yet here it was, something that could move through the mist without revealing itself, almost like it was part of the air itself. Elena took a deep breath and descended to the planet's surface with her team. The landing was smooth, the craft lowering gently onto a clearing surrounded by glowing plants. The mist hugged the ground like a soft blanket, limiting their visibility. Every step felt cautious, every sound amplified. Her team spread out, scanning with sensors, marking samples, and collecting plant data. But Elena moved differently. She walked slowly, listening and observing, letting her instincts guide her. That's when she saw it again. A faint disturbance in the mist, a shimmer that seemed to move with a purpose. She froze and whispered, "There." Liara looked up sharply. "Where?" "There," Elena said, pointing. "There's something watching us." A ripple passed through the mist. It was subtle, like a heat wave rising from the ground, but Elena recognized it immediately. The creature or creatures were aware of them, and they believed they were invisible. Hours passed, and the team collected their samples while Elena observed the invisible presence. They moved gracefully through the mist, silent and confident, seemingly unafraid of the humans. At one point, a tool disappeared from one of the researchers' packs, only to reappear moments later on a rock nearby. The aliens were playful, testing boundaries, showing off their ability to go unseen. Most of the team laughed nervously, attributing it to the stress of exploration. But Elena was silent, her mind racing. She studied the shimmer patterns, noticing that the mist always bent slightly around them, subtle reflections on nearby surfaces revealing their outlines if you looked carefully enough. She crouched behind a glowing plant and whispered softly, almost to herself, "They aren't truly invisible. They manipulate light, but it's limited. If we observe carefully, we can see them." Liara leaned close, whispering, "You really think you can communicate with them?" Elena smiled faintly. "Not yet, but I think I can show them we see them." As evening approached, the mist thickened, reducing visibility to a few meters. Elena decided to act. She walked slowly, deliberately, stopping just inside the shimmer of one creature. It froze instantly, as if sensing her presence without fully understanding how she knew it was there. Elena knelt slightly and whispered a soft greeting. The words were simple, meant for calm and curiosity, not threat. The creature tilted its head, an almost imperceptible movement, its body shimmering faintly. Others appeared around it, drawn by the sound of her voice, their movements cautious. For the first time, the aliens realized that the humans could perceive them without sensors, without light scanners. They were startled, hesitant, and something like uncertainty replaced their confident amusement. Elena took another step closer, speaking softly, letting her tone convey respect. The nearest alien edged backward, unsure whether to flee or respond. She remained calm, showing no fear, allowing her presence to be non-threatening. Hours passed in silence. The aliens watched, fascinated. They had never encountered beings who could detect them naturally. Even their advanced species, which prided itself on stealth and invisibility, had never been challenged this way. Yet here was a human, small and seemingly fragile, standing calmly while they shimmered invisibly around her. By nightfall, the team returned to the landing craft, reporting a day of exploration. Elena remained thoughtful, analyzing what she had witnessed. She realized the implications were far greater than mere observation. These creatures, confident in their invisibility, could become allies or adversaries. Their perception of humans had shifted. Inside the craft, Elena reviewed the day's data. She had captured faint traces of vibrations and shimmer patterns in the mist, enough to identify and perhaps predict the movements of the aliens. But more importantly, she had learned something critical. Humans did not need to rely solely on technology to perceive and understand life. Observation, intuition, and calm courage were tools as powerful as any scanner. She looked at her team and smiled. Tomorrow we try something new, not just to see them but to communicate, to show them we respect them and that we are not a threat. The night outside was quiet. The glowing plants bathed the mist in a soft light, reflecting faint shimmer patterns where the aliens moved. Somewhere in the mist, the creatures lingered watching, curious and unsettled in a way they had never been before. Elena lay in her quarters, reviewing every detail in her mind. Every subtle ripple, every flicker of shimmer, every tiny vibration was a clue. She understood now that humans had an advantage in ways the aliens could not anticipate, an advantage born of perception, patience, and courage. As sleep approached, Elena whispered to herself, "They think they are invisible, but sometimes seeing is more than just vision. Sometimes it's understanding." And somewhere in the mist, the aliens sensed it. Something had changed. Something fundamental. Their belief in invisibility was shaken, and for the first time, they were uncertain, curious, and most of all, respectful. Elena drifted into sleep with a quiet determination. Tomorrow would be the day they learned that humans were not to be underestimated, that a whisper could be stronger than stealth, and that courage and intelligence could bridge the gap between worlds. The mist outside shimmered faintly, as if alive, carrying with it the silent acknowledgement of a new understanding, a fragile, delicate bond forming between human and alien, born of perception, patience, and a whispered voice in the ear. The morning mist hung low over the glowing forest as Captain Elena Hart led her team down the narrow path. The shimmering outlines of the aliens from the previous day moved cautiously among the trees, hesitant yet curious. Elena moved slowly, careful not to startle them. She had learned that patience, calmness, and a quiet voice were more powerful than any scanner or weapon. "Remember," she whispered to her team, "we are guests here. We observe, we learn, and we communicate. Nothing more." The aliens responded with subtle shifts in posture, faint vibrations, and shimmering movements. They were learning to understand her, and she was learning to understand them. It was a delicate dance of trust built on respect rather than fear. Hours passed as the team explored deeper into the forest. The mist thickened, glowing plants casting soft, moving light on the damp ground. Every now and then an alien would flicker near the edge of the team's vision, testing boundaries, seeing if Elena would react with fear. She remained calm, speaking softly, her presence steady. Slowly, the aliens drew closer. Elena noticed patterns in their movement, how they responded to sound, how vibrations traveled through the mist, and how they observed without being seen. She realized these aliens had a sophisticated sense of awareness, one that humans could not replicate with machines. But she also saw that their perception had limits. They assumed invisibility made them untouchable, but humans could notice subtle cues, small disturbances in the air, and light reflections that gave away their position. By midday, the team reached a clearing where the mist swirled unusually thick like a living cloud. Elena signaled for the team to stop. She could feel the tension in the air, the quiet anticipation of creatures unseen but present. Then, from the center of the clearing, a large ripple moved through the mist, and one of the aliens appeared more clearly than before. It was tall, translucent and shimmering faintly, its body bending light in a subtle pattern. Elena stepped forward slowly, hands relaxed at her sides, and whispered, "We mean no harm. We are here to learn and to understand." The alien paused, tilting its head, its movement cautious. Other aliens emerged from the mist, circling the team at a safe distance. Elena's voice was calm, steady, conveying assurance. The aliens responded with subtle vibrations that Liara quickly translated through their sensor. They are curious, Liara said softly. They do not understand us fully, but they feel we are not a threat. Elena smiled faintly. Curiosity is the first step toward understanding, she said. The peaceful exchange did not last long. Without warning, the ground beneath them trembled slightly, sending small stones rolling through the mist. A low rumble echoed from beneath the forest floor. Elena immediately recognized the signs. Geological instability, a sudden eruption of gases from below. Everyone move, she shouted. The team scrambled as the mist thickened and a strange glowing gas began rising from cracks in the ground. The aliens froze, startled, their previous confidence shattered. They had never encountered danger they could not perceive or control. Elena took a deep breath and focused. We can do this together, she whispered to the aliens, her voice calm but firm. She moved toward one of the shimmering creatures, gesturing for it to follow her. It hesitated, then slowly obeyed. One by one, the others began to mirror her movements. Using her knowledge of the terrain and the aliens' unique perception abilities, Elena guided them through safe paths in the forest. The gas was dense and toxic, but the aliens sensed subtle shifts in air movement while humans relied on masks and sensors. Together, they navigated the dangerous area, each species compensating for the other's limitations. Hours felt like minutes as they moved through the glowing mist. The aliens, who had once believed themselves untouchable, now saw humans not as fragile beings but as clever, adaptable allies. Elena's calm determination and ability to perceive what they could not gave them a sense of security, in a way their own senses could not. When the group finally reached higher ground, above the gas clouds, everyone paused to catch their breath. The aliens shimmered faintly, vibrating in a pattern that Liara interpreted as relief and appreciation. Elena knelt slightly, speaking softly. We made it. Together. That is what matters. For the first time, the aliens approached openly, moving closer to the humans without hesitation. They extended translucent limbs in gestures that suggested curiosity and trust. Elena reached out her hand and the nearest alien lightly touched it, a delicate contact that conveyed recognition rather than threat. Over the next few hours, Elena worked with the aliens to map safer paths through the forest and identify areas where their bioluminescent plants could help humans navigate in low light. The aliens learned quickly, adapting their movements to be visible enough for humans to follow without losing their natural stealth. In return, humans began understanding subtle signals the aliens used to communicate. Small vibrations, the way they bent light, even the rhythm of their movement through the mist. By evening, the team had set up a small camp in a secure clearing. The aliens lingered nearby, some hovering just beyond the firelight, shimmering faintly, watching and learning. Elena realized that this day had changed everything. Humans had proven themselves capable of more than observation. They had shown courage, ingenuity, and the ability to inspire trust even in creatures who had once considered themselves untouchable. Liara turned to Elena, eyes wide. Captain, they respect us. They trust us. Elena nodded, smiling softly. Not just respect, Liara, they are learning. And so are we. Night fell over the forest, the mist glowing softly under the bioluminescent plants. Elena lay in her tent thinking about the day's events. She realized that humans had a power that went beyond technology or strength. It was perception, patience, and the courage to act wisely in the face of uncertainty. The aliens had assumed invisibility made them superior, but humans had shown that awareness, understanding, and empathy could bridge the gap between worlds. She closed her eyes, whispering to herself, "We see you. And we understand. That is what matters." Somewhere in the mist, the aliens shimmered, vibrating faintly. Their belief in untouchability was gone, replaced by curiosity, respect, and the beginning of a new bond. They had learned that humans could perceive, communicate, and lead in ways they had never imagined. In the days that followed, humans and aliens began a subtle collaboration. The aliens shared knowledge about their light-manipulating abilities, teaching the humans how to sense vibrations and subtle changes in the environment. Humans shared observations about the forest, patterns in the mist, and techniques to navigate safely. Together, they explored the planet, combining strengths in ways neither species could achieve alone. Elena often whispered softly, as she moved through the mist, guiding the aliens with her calm voice. Each word, each gesture reinforced the trust they had built. The aliens, once proud and self-assured in their invisibility, now recognized humans as beings of ingenuity and courage, capable of understanding and protecting life in ways the aliens themselves could not. Months passed, and the research station became a hub of interspecies collaboration. Data flowed between humans and aliens, discoveries multiplied, and the bond between species grew stronger. Elena often looked out over the glowing forests, smiling at the creatures who had once believed themselves untouchable, now working alongside her. She knew that this was only the beginning. Humans had proven themselves not just as observers but as thinkers, leaders, and partners, and the aliens, humbled yet inspired, were learning that true power came not from invisibility or stealth but from understanding, empathy, and cooperation. Elena stood at the edge of the forest one evening, the mist glowing softly under the alien sun. One of the creatures shimmered nearby, vibrating in a pattern that was almost like a greeting. She whispered back softly, "We will face the future together. We will learn together. And we will grow together." The alien shimmered once more, then vanished briefly into the mist, only to reappear moments later, closer to her. Trust had been established, and the foundation for a lasting bond was laid. For the first time, the humans and the aliens were equals in understanding, curiosity, and courage. As the night deepened, the glowing forest pulsed with life. The humans and aliens moved through it together, exploring, learning, and growing. Elena knew that the universe was vast and full of unknown challenges, but now she also knew that humans could meet those challenges with courage, insight, and cooperation that even the most advanced alien species could respect. And somewhere in the mist, a soft vibration echoed, a reminder that invisibility was never true power. True power was perception, understanding, and the courage to act wisely. The aliens had learned it. The humans had shown it, and together, they were stronger than either could have imagined alone.